minute. Damn, bro. What are you doing? Crazy as hell. Yo, look at this guy. Hello? Hello? What are you doing? What are you eating? What are you eating? You better cut it out, man. Cut it out. This guy. See, now I'm all out of frame. Now I'm all out of the frame. See what you did? See what you did? See what you did, bro? You got me all messed up now. Alright, I think that's good enough. Wednesday, January 22nd, 2025. It's nice and cold out here in Florida. It's like, I don't even know. I think it was like 30 something degrees, 40 degrees maybe. It's not like freezing to me cuz I'm from up north, but what throws me off here is the contrast. So like the other day it was like 70 degree, almost 70 degrees, or like 60 something degrees. It was like humid and like warm, like I was sweating. And then today's freezing. It's like that cold front or whatever's going on, but I'm just enjoying it because I already know it's not about to last. So just taking it for what it is. Which leads me to, I guess, the topic that I kind of wanted to cover today, which is mindset, frame, and mindset. You know, like external things are always gonna happen, right? Completely like out of your control, things that you can't see coming, things you can't do anything about. It's just how life is, right? But what's your mind frame? How do you choose to frame that situation? You feel like you know something, you understand, you feel like when you know better, you do better, right? And like I said, we forget a lot of the lessons we learn throughout life, and that's why it's always good to kind of just serve as a refresher and remind yourself from time to time, like, does this thing that's happening to me have to be as bad as I'm making it out to be, right? Does this thing that's happening right now that I don't want to happen, is this the end of the world? Is this is gonna be the thing that takes me out? Most likely, when you logically thinking, no, right? But we're not always being logical, right? Sometimes like I said, you forget, or you feel an anxiety or depression, or you going through it, and things always seem worse when you're going right through it, right? A storm seems the worst when you're in the thick of it, right? When it's pouring all around you, the wind is blowing, just life feels like it's crashing down on you, and while you're getting right in the midst of it, it just feels like you can't see shit. There's no way out of this thing. It's like there's no way I'm gonna get out of this. And I'm of the belief that I say this shit a lot because it's really true to me. I feel like in life we try to separate things a lot. I think people try to simplify or oversimplify life. Gotta keep an eye on this guy because he likes to run away. Hey, Don't go over there. I feel like in life, people like to generalize things and oversimplify things because it makes it more palatable, right? It makes it easier to digest if you could kind of, if you feel like you got a grasp on it and you can kind of take it from this big, scary thing and shrink it down. And so people try to like make everything black or white. This is either good or bad. This is either up or down, left or right. Um, and that's just not the case, man. A lot of life is gray area. A lot of life is gray area. Um, and that's a good thing, man. Two things could be true at once. Um, and while yeah, what you're going through could be terrible, and it probably is terrible, right? That's not to minimize what you might be going through. That storm, the storm is a storm, right? It's not cool. The wind is blowing, the trees might get knocked over, your property might get damaged, people get hurt, people die. The rain, floods, again, could ruin your house. Like, it's not to take away from what is happening. It's not to say, oh, it's all sunshine and fucking rainbows. It's not. Bad shit happens. Life is rough. There's storms. There's no doubt about it. But I think it's not what happens to you that matters. It's what you do with it, right? And the greatest lessons we get come from the toughest trials we have to face. You know what I mean? Like, you don't really gain anything worth gaining when it's just given to you. Like, the best things you get in life are the things that you earn, man. And that what that really boils down to is what's your frame of mind? How do you frame things that happen around you? Do you say this happened to me or did this happen for me? Right? Is this something that happened to me? Why did she do that to me? Why did she say that to me? Why did my boss do this to me? Why did they do these things to me? That that frame of mind is of a victim. You're a victim essentially. You just life is happening to you. You are a victim, a helpless victim at that, who just life is just stomping your ass out and you're helpless, right? Or are you? How helpless are you really? I mean, the truth of the matter is it's easy to, you know, fall, lay on your back and just, fetal position. It's easy. It's easy to do that. It's easy to curl up into a ball and cry and be a bitch. And don't get me wrong, there's times where, like I said, life is tough. You're gonna fall. You're gonna curl up. You're gonna cry. You're gonna feel it. You know what I mean? For sure. But it doesn't just have to be that. Hey, no. Something's gonna happen to him. I'm about to kick him square in his ass. Cut it out, man. Bro, cut it out. Things don't have to just happen to you, man. They can happen for you if you allow them to. If you choose to see it that way, right? Again, I'm not saying anything that's new. I'm not reinventing the wheel here. Um, Pretty sure you've heard of Stoicism, the philosophy. If you haven't, obviously that's something to definitely look into. That's essentially what I'm trying to get at is these outside events that seem to be just like the most horrible thing, and like it's just making your life hell, and you just can't see a way out and you can't see a silver lining. I promise you there is. I promise you there is. There's always a silver lining. There's always a way out of these out of darkness. When you see it seems to be like you're just in the pit of hell, there's always a way out. And if you choose to extract that gold from that dragon, that's something that no one could take away from you. No one could take that away from you. But you gotta be brave enough. You gotta be of the right mind and heart to know that what is happening to you is essentially happening for you. Those two things can be true at the same time. It doesn't always just have to happen to you. But you gotta know going into it and coming out of it, more importantly, don't let the things that happen just be a waste, right? Don't let it just be this terrible occurrence and don't take nothing from it. We don't give ourselves enough credit, man. We don't give ourselves nearly as much credit as we should. You survived every single bad day you've had. Your track record is 100% survived every bad day. So how could you not give yourself credit? How could you not see that you're bigger than you really portray yourself? Again, this is something that a lot of people, including myself, like, yeah, I know that. We know it, but you don't fully integrate it. And sometimes it's worth repeating. Sometimes we got to revisit topics and go through lessons again that we've learned before, because you forget, man. You forget how much of a bad motherfucker you really are. And that's really what it is. You forgetting who the fuck you are. These things don't just happen to you, they happen for you. God is always blessing you. God is always there. Even when you don't seem to understand, or you don't see it or feel it or understand it in that moment, I promise you, you are more blessed than you'll ever know. And that's real. But you gotta be willing to know. You gotta be willing to learn. You gotta be open to the experiences of life. And you can't just let life stomp your ass out and cook you. You can't. You can't be a victim. You can't. Your frame is everything. Your frame is everything. Think about the last shitty situation you've had. A breakup. You got let go from your job. Your friend just don't talk to you no more. Your car broke down on you. You could take any of them situations, and in the moment, they're gonna hurt. It sucks. It's unfavorable. It's not what you want, for sure. Sometimes, though, you down the road, you look back and you say, man, that was the greatest shit that ever happened to me. I'm glad she broke up with me. She was toxic anyway. She was crazy. Now I met this better person. Right? I'm glad my car broke down. It forced me to get off my ass, hustle, work overtime to get a better car. Or I'm glad it broke down. Now my ass is forced to ride my bike or to walk my ass over there. Right? You lost your job. It sucks. What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pay the bills. Forgot you a bad motherfucker? Forgot your resume? You crazy? That's the best thing that ever happened to you. Without losing that job, you would have not got the better job, the better career. You would have not started that business. You would have not had the fire under your ass to lock in and execute bigger and better things. When one door closes, 8 more open, man. But you gotta be willing to know that you gotta go through the storm to get through the storm. You gotta go through it to get through it. But it's all about your frame of mind. Did it happen to you, or did it happen for you?